abandoned colossal starship rebuilt by humanity. Now the galaxy fears it. For most civilizations, this region was abandoned, a place where old legends were forgotten and explorers went to disappear. Humanity had only recently begun sending small fleets here, mapping the stars, charting planets, and quietly proving that they could reach places no one else cared to visit. Captain Elias Marlowe stood on the bridge of the Odyssey, the lead human exploration ship, his eyes fixed on the viewscreen. The sensors had picked up something unusual, a faint energy signature drifting near a dead star cluster. It was large, ancient, and alive in some way, though no human had ever seen anything like it. "Distance to object?" Elias asked. Lieutenant Aaron Vega, the ship's young navigator, adjusted the console. "Approximately 4 light hours, Captain. The readings are irregular. It doesn't match any known human or alien design." Elias leaned closer. The shape was immense, barely perceptible at first on the long-range sensors. As they drew nearer, it became clear. This was no ordinary ship. It was colossal, a floating relic of a forgotten age, its hull scarred but intact. "Could this be an abandoned alien warship?" Aaron whispered, awe in her voice. "By the looks of it," Elias replied, "whatever built this knew more about engineering than anyone alive today." Humanity had always been underestimated. Other species in the galaxy viewed humans as minor players, clever, yes, but fragile, inexperienced, and lacking real power. And yet, the humans had something others often overlooked: curiosity and persistence. They did not see this abandoned ship as a threat. They saw a challenge and a chance. The crew of the Odyssey prepared a boarding team. They would attempt to dock with the starship, assess its condition, and recover whatever they could. Alien records were sparse, but scattered reports called the ship a dread leviathan, capable of destroying fleets in moments. The aliens had left it to drift for centuries, fearing its power and warning others to leave it alone. Humanity did not heed warnings. The docking process was difficult. The ancient ship's hull emitted strange energy pulses, repelling their docking clamps. Sparks flew when their systems tried to interface with alien technology. It was like touching a living creature with cold metal gloves. The ship resisted, almost aware of their presence. Finally, after hours of maneuvering, the docking clamps held. The airlock opened with a hiss, and the boarding team stepped into history. The interior was vast and dark, corridors stretching far beyond human imagination. Lights flickered weakly, responding to their movement. Strange symbols glowed on walls, indecipherable yet hypnotic. Machinery hummed with a life of its own, systems starting to respond to human presence. Dr. Selene Kaur, the team's chief engineer, led the way. "This is incredible," she murmured. "Every piece of this ship is functional, but it's different. It's like it's protecting itself from us." The team split into groups. One section examined life support systems, another the propulsion engines, and a third the ship's control center. Every discovery was a mix of wonder and frustration. The ship was centuries ahead of humanity. Its technology was alien, self-repairing, and adaptive. Simple tinkering would not work here. Every attempt triggered automated defenses, from locking doors to releasing temporary energy fields. Hours passed, then days. The team worked tirelessly, learning, experimenting, and slowly understanding. It was like solving a puzzle where the pieces moved on their own. Humanity had done this before, in smaller ways, but never on such a scale. Meanwhile, back on the Odyssey, Elias monitored communications with alien sectors. Rumors of human activity near the dread Leviathan were already spreading. Alien governments began sending reconnaissance drones, curious and wary. They expected humanity to fail. After all, no species had ever dared claim the ship, let alone power it. Elias ignored the warnings. "Let them watch," he said. "We're not here to fight them yet. We're here to learn." The breakthrough came when Selene and her engineering team managed to power up the ship's core. It was a moment of triumph. The alien machinery responded not with hostility, but with compliance. Lights spread across the bridge, holographic controls activated, and a low hum filled the corridors. Humanity had done what the galaxy thought impossible. They had awakened the dread Leviathan. Yet this was only the beginning. The ship was still dormant in many ways. Its defensive systems were partially online, its propulsion limited, and its combat capabilities remained hidden. Selene realized the challenge ahead. "We've turned it on," she said, voice tight with excitement and worry, "but now we have to make it ours." The alien sensors around the outer rim began sending signals. Small fleets appeared on long-range scans, watching, waiting. They did not understand how humans had succeeded, and they feared what might come next. On board the starship, the human engineers faced more immediate dangers. Strange environmental hazards tested their skills: energy surges, toxic gas pockets, and gravity fluctuations that warped corridors into vertical walls. Every repair required creativity and courage. The humans adapted quickly, using human intuition to solve problems the aliens had never anticipated. For days, the crew worked without rest, eating and sleeping in shifts. Bonds formed among them, not just as colleagues, but as pioneers in a venture that would change humanity's place in the galaxy. They laughed in the corridors when small victories occurred, like reactivating a damaged turret or decoding an alien interface, but they also worried about the cost. One mistake could mean death, or worse, awakening something they could not control. Elias watched them work with pride. Humanity had always faced odds that seemed impossible. Against famine, disease, hostile worlds, and countless disasters, they had survived and thrived. This starship, abandoned and feared for centuries, was another challenge, and they were rising to meet it. Finally, after weeks of effort, a full report was ready. The dread Leviathan systems were partially integrated with human technology. They had achieved what no one expected. The starship now responded to human commands. Navigation was stable, basic life support was secure, and preliminary tests of propulsion were promising. Combat systems remained under observation, inactive, but the ship's power output alone could challenge entire fleets. Elias spoke to the crew on the bridge, his voice firm but full of admiration. "We've crossed a line today. Humanity has taken something the galaxy feared and made it ours. This ship is no longer a weapon abandoned in the void. It is a symbol of human determination, ingenuity, and courage. But we must remember, others will watch. They will doubt us, and some will try to stop us. Our next steps will be dangerous, but I have no doubt that humanity is ready." Selene, standing beside him, looked out at the stars through the viewport. "We've just awakened a giant," she said softly, "and now it's learning from us." Outside the starship, alien sensors flickered and pulsed. Observers whispered through their communications channels, disbelief and fear evident in every signal. A minor species, humans, had dared touch what they had sworn to leave untouched. A species they had assumed weak, incapable, and naive had done the impossible, and the galaxy was watching. The first part of humanity's journey with the Colossal Starship was complete. They had discovered it, boarded it, and powered it. They had faced danger, overcome impossible obstacles, and proven that no machine, no matter how ancient or powerful, was beyond human reach. But this was only the beginning. The ship was massive, full of mysteries yet to be uncovered, and its full potential remained locked behind alien design and centuries of neglect. Humanity had awakened a sleeping giant, but giants, once awake, were unpredictable. In the darkness of space, the colossal starship floated silently, its systems now humming in harmony with human ingenuity. The humans aboard it were tired, exhilarated, and determined. The galaxy might have feared it before, but now it would learn to fear humanity itself. As the Odyssey prepared to return to human space with the first reports and samples, Captain Elias Marlowe looked at the starship one last time. He felt a mixture of pride, excitement, and cautious apprehension. Humanity had reached the impossible, but the journey was far from over. And in the quiet void of space, he thought he heard the ship almost breathing. The colossal starship floated in the darkness of deep space, now alive under human control. Its vast hull glimmered faintly under the distant starlight, ancient panels humming with energy, responding to human commands. Humanity had achieved what no one believed possible, powering a starship so massive, so advanced, that even the most experienced alien engineers had deemed it untouchable. But powering it was only the first step. Now came the true challenge: mastering it. Captain Elias Marlowe watched the activity from the bridge. Engineers, scientists, and technicians moved through the corridors like ants in a hive, working tirelessly to understand systems that had been abandoned for centuries. Selene Kaur, the chief engineer, had become almost obsessive in her study of the ship's alien machinery. Every console, every panel, every glowing interface was a puzzle. "It's remarkable," Selene said, her fingers dancing over the holographic controls. "Every system seems to adapt to us, but in ways we don't yet understand. It's as if the ship trusts us but tests us at the same time." Aaron Vega, now promoted to lead navigator, frowned. "Trusts us. Ships don't trust anyone. They're machines." "Maybe not our kind of machines," Selene replied. "This one is different." Days turned into weeks. Humanity worked to integrate alien systems with their own technology. Propulsion systems that once required alien intuition now responded to human calculations. Life support expanded to accommodate hundreds more crew members than previously thought possible. Even the ship's communication networks, long dormant, began translating themselves into patterns human brains could comprehend. The more humans learned, the more the ship seemed to change itself. Doors that once resisted opening now moved silently. Turrets that had been frozen in place rotated slightly when humans approached, as though observing their skill. Power conduits adjusted automatically, distributing energy where it was needed most. The ship was no longer just a vessel, it was a collaborator, a silent partner in human ingenuity. Yet, mastery was not simple. The ship's combat systems remained largely inaccessible. Missiles, energy arrays, and defensive shields all activated only partially, responding unpredictably. Simulations revealed that if used recklessly, the ship could self-destruct, or worse, turn against the crew. Selene realized that the weapon humanity had awakened required discipline and intelligence, not brute force. "Humanity isn't just lucky," Selene said during a meeting with the command staff. "We're proving something the galaxy often forgets. We think creatively. We don't give up. We adapt. That's why we can do what others could not." Elias nodded. "And now the galaxy will watch us, some with fear, some with envy, but we will move carefully. Every step must be precise. One mistake could undo everything." Outside, alien sensors had begun to react. Reports of a massive, active, human-controlled starship spread quickly. Fleets from nearby empires sent scouts, observers, and spies. They did not understand how humans had achieved this. Many assumed the ship would destroy itself soon, others prepared to strike first. Inside the colossal ship, the humans faced more practical challenges. Alien power conduits fluctuated unpredictably. Gravity fields warped as they activated different engines. Some rooms shifted as if the ship itself were testing its new crew. Human ingenuity was their greatest tool. Makeshift clamps, magnetic stabilizers, and clever rerouting of energy circuits allowed them to overcome obstacles that alien engineers would have deemed impossible. The breakthrough came when Selene and her team successfully integrated human navigation and energy systems into the ship's main core. The colossal vessel responded instantly, a silent acknowledgement of human skill. Propulsion engines hummed in harmony with human calculations, and energy shields glowed softly, waiting for further commands. Elias allowed himself a small smile. We're no longer just explorers. We are pilots of the impossible. But mastery brought its own dangers. As humans unlocked systems, the ship's long-dormant AI began communicating, strangely, not in words, but in patterns, lights, and subtle energy pulses. Selene interpreted these as instructions or warnings. The AI seemed to understand human reasoning, guiding the crew in ways that felt almost like mentorship. "It's learning from us," Selene whispered one night, "and we're learning from it." As the humans advanced, alien interference increased. Small reconnaissance ships appeared, trying to gather data or sabotage the colossal vessel. Each attempt was met with human ingenuity. Defensive shields, once unpredictable, now responded perfectly to threats. Energy pulses disabled intruding drones. Alien saboteurs were caught and exposed without damage to the ship or crew. The first true test came unexpectedly. A small alien fleet, a scouting force from a nearby coalition, launched an attack. They expected to find a human crew overwhelmed by an alien machine. They expected an easy victory. Instead, they encountered a new reality. The colossal starship moved with an elegance no alien pilot had anticipated. Its energy shields flared, absorbing attacks without strain. Turrets deployed strategically, firing only to disable enemy systems, not destroy them. The humans coordinated with precision, their tactics a blend of ingenuity and daring. Every move was calculated, every response adaptive. The alien fleet was stunned. No human had piloted a vessel like this before. The sheer scale and control the humans displayed made the scouts retreat, sending urgent warnings to their home systems. The galaxy began to realize that humanity was not just surviving, they were mastering technology that others considered untouchable. Back on the starship, celebration was muted but genuine. Humans had not just defended themselves, they had proven their capability to control an artifact of unimaginable power. Elias addressed the crew. "This is more than a victory," he said. "It is proof. Humanity is capable of taking the impossible and turning it into something useful, something extraordinary. We are not weak, we are not simple, and we are no longer underestimated." Selene added, "And this ship, it is more than a weapon, it's a teacher. Every system, every challenge, every failure, it teaches us how far we can go. We must listen, adapt, and continue to grow." Humanity's work continued. Weeks turned into months as the ship's systems were gradually mastered. Weapons arrays became predictable, propulsion reached speeds no human vessel had achieved before, and defensive technologies evolved to anticipate threats. Each human aboard contributed their skill and creativity. No alien species could match the unique combination of ingenuity, persistence, and adaptability. Yet, they did not stop at defense. The humans began exploring ways to expand the ship's potential. They integrated energy sources from human colonies, developed new control interfaces, and even adapted alien AI subroutines to respond to human intuition. The ship became not just a relic of the past, but a vessel designed for humanity's future. Rumors spread faster than the humans anticipated. Alien empires whispered of the human giant, a single starship capable of challenging entire fleets. Panic spread in councils that had never feared humans before. Some attempted diplomacy, sending envoys to gauge human intent. Others prepared for preemptive strikes, fearing the unknown power. Elias knew the galaxy would react, but he remained calm. "Our goal is not conquest," he told his officers. "Our goal is mastery. We defend, we explore, we learn. And if the galaxy fears us, so be it. Let them fear what they do not understand." The humans aboard the colossal starship continued their work, night and day. They tested engines, simulated combat scenarios, and decoded alien archives. Every day revealed new mysteries, new possibilities. And with each discovery, humanity's confidence grew. They were no longer simply the species laughed at by the galaxy. They were the species that had tamed the impossible. The part ended with a quiet scene on the bridge. Elias and Selene watched as the starship glided through space, its massive hull gleaming. The AI hummed softly, lights pulsing in rhythm with the humans aboard. For the first time, the colossal vessel felt alive, not just as a machine, but as a partner in humanity's rise. Selene smiled faintly. "We've done what no one thought we could, but this is only the beginning." Elias nodded. "Yes, soon the galaxy will learn that humans are not to be underestimated, and when that day comes, it will change everything." The humans had awakened a giant, mastered its power, and faced their first test in the galaxy. And yet, beyond the stars, larger threats were stirring, watching this new human-led force with suspicion and fear. The galaxy was waking up to a new reality, and humanity stood at the center of it, ready, clever, and unstoppable. The galaxy was changing, whether the alien empires liked it or not. Rumors of the colossal human-controlled starship spread across light years. Traders, scouts, and diplomats whispered about the human giant, a vessel so immense and powerful that no other civilization could match it. Where humans were once dismissed as weak, now fear and respect followed their name. Captain Elias Marlowe stood on the bridge, the massive hull of the ship reflected in the viewport. Stars streaked past as the ship glided toward human space, carrying with it a message that was clear even without words. Humanity had arrived. "Status report," Elias commanded. Aaron Vega, now fully seasoned in her role, checked the systems. All systems stable, shield integrity at 100%, propulsion fully optimized, energy outputs exceed predicted limits. Any fleet that underestimates us will regret it. Selene Core smiled faintly, her fingers hovering over a control panel. "We've done more than repair a starship. We've transformed it, and ourselves in the process. Every system now responds to human logic, intuition, even creativity. No alien could have imagined this." Elias nodded. "And yet this is only the beginning. The galaxy is watching." Indeed, it was. Alien coalitions that had long ignored humanity now scrambled to prepare. Messages flew between empires. Councils debated how to respond to this new power. Some argued for diplomacy, hoping to learn human intentions. Others demanded preemptive strikes, fearing that allowing humanity to grow would threaten them all. Humanity's first choice was restraint. They had no desire for conquest or unnecessary war. The colossal ship, now fully operational, became a symbol of deterrence, not destruction. Colonies on the outer rim, once vulnerable to alien raids, now found protection under the human giant's shadow. Pirates and raiders vanished without confrontation, intimidated by the unknown capabilities of a single starship. Yet, not all forces could be dissuaded by caution. A coalition of alien empires, each a seasoned warlike civilization, decided to strike first. Intelligence reports indicated that over 200 ships were assembling near a strategic system, ready to challenge humanity. The humans had anticipated this. Elias convened the command team. "They think they can overwhelm us with numbers. But they underestimate two things: our ingenuity and our ship. We fight smart, not reckless. Every move counts." Selene displayed the tactical readouts. "Our ship can handle more than 50 of their vessels at once in direct engagement, but we don't need to destroy them all. Our strategy is control, not slaughter. Show them what humans can do and they will rethink their approach." The battle began in the void near the Peridian cluster. Alien fleets moved confidently, their formation tight, energy shields bristling, weapons charged. They expected an easy victory. A single human vessel could never challenge hundreds of warships. And then the colossal starship moved. It was not just massive, it was intelligent. Turrets rotated before enemies fired. Energy shields adapted instantly to incoming attacks. Propulsion systems repositioned the ship in impossible maneuvers, anticipating enemy movements. Humans aboard coordinated every system, their tactics fluid and precise. Every move demonstrated strategy, patience, and adaptation. The aliens unleashed volleys of energy, missiles, and experimental weapons. The humans countered without hesitation. A pulse emitted from the ship's hull disabled targeting systems of multiple enemy vessels simultaneously. Shields flared, absorbing energy attacks while leaving no damage to human systems. Turrets fired precise, non-lethal bursts that disabled engines and weapons, leaving ships intact but powerless. Within hours, the alien coalition's fleet was in disarray. Ships retreated, communications filled with panic. No one had seen humans operate technology like this. They did not fight blindly. They controlled the battle itself, turning the impossible power of a legendary warship into an instrument of precise human strategy. Back on the bridge, the crew cheered quietly. It was a victory but measured. Humanity had proven its strength without unnecessary destruction. Elias allowed himself a moment of pride. "We've done what many thought impossible," he said. Not with brute force alone, but with creativity, courage, and discipline. Selene watched the enemy ships retreat. This is the galaxy learning a lesson it will never forget. Humans are clever, adaptable, and fearless. And now we're showing them that we can protect, not just destroy. News of the battle spread faster than anyone expected. Across the galaxy, alien populations learned that a single human starship could challenge entire fleets and win without annihilation. Human colonies were safe. Borders once threatened were respected. Reputation once fragile became formidable. Elias convened the command team for reflection. "We've made history," he said, "but the galaxy is vast. There will be challenges we cannot predict. What matters is that humanity has proven it can rise, adapt, and protect what it values. That is our true power," Selene added. "And the ship itself, it has become more than a vessel. It's a partner, a teacher, a shield, and a tool. Together we have transformed it, and it has transformed us. Humanity is stronger than anyone imagined." Over the following months, the colossal ship became a beacon. Human explorers traveled further into the galaxy, colonies thrived under its protection, and trade routes once unsafe were reopened. Diplomats came from alien empires, some seeking alliance, others seeking insight. Every encounter reminded the galaxy that humanity was no longer the species to underestimate. Yet, even as humans expanded influence, they did not become oppressors. The ship's presence was a deterrent, not a weapon of terror. Humanity's reputation grew not because of fear alone, but because of principled strength. Aliens learned that humans could wield unimaginable power without succumbing to arrogance. One quiet evening on the bridge of the colossal ship, Elias and Selene watched the stars together. The ship hummed softly around them, alive in its own way, responsive and aware. "We've changed the galaxy," Elias said. "No species will underestimate humanity again. But I wonder, have we truly awakened all that the ship can do?" Selene smiled. "Perhaps not. But every day we learn something new. Every day humanity grows stronger, not because we seek war, but because we refuse to be limited by fear or doubt." Elias nodded. "And the galaxy will remember that. Humanity is clever, persistent, and unstoppable when united. We have risen, and no one can take that away." The colossal ship sailed silently through the void, a floating testament to human ingenuity. Colonies cheered as it passed, traders whispered its name, and alien fleets watched from afar, reconsidering their strategies. The humans aboard knew they had achieved something extraordinary. A single species, once dismissed, now held influence across the stars. Yet the journey was far from over. Humanity had proven its power, but the galaxy remained vast, full of unknown dangers and opportunities. New challenges would arise, new mysteries to uncover, and perhaps one day, even greater threats. But for now, the humans aboard the colossal starship stood together, victorious yet humble. They had awakened a giant, mastered its power, and shown the galaxy that humans could rise above any expectation. They were explorers, innovators, defenders, and pioneers, and the galaxy would never forget their name. As the colossal vessel glided past a distant nebula, its hull glowing with soft energy, the humans looked out at the stars. They had transformed the impossible into reality. They had taken a forgotten relic, rebuilt it, mastered it, and used it to protect and inspire. And in that vast darkness, the humans smiled, knowing that this was only the beginning. The galaxy had feared them once, and it would fear them again. But now it also respected humanity for what they truly were: clever, brave, and unstoppable. The colossal starship sailed on, a silent guardian and symbol of human ingenuity, a reminder that even the smallest species could achieve the impossible. And humanity, united and fearless, would continue to rise among the stars.